Hello, everybody. I'm so honored to be here. I'm GlitchCat7, and this is Luminescent. This is a Kaizo of Super Mario World, the original for Super Nintendo. That means that it has the same physics engine as the original game, but a lot of new things have been changed and added, and we're going to go on a really fun adventure here. Kaizo games are notoriously very difficult, and as such, I am going to be turning most of the commentary over to my couch for this run so I can focus and play my best for you today. But who better to do that than the creator, Borgyman?
Hey, what's up, everyone? So I'm the Borgyman, and I am the creator of this Super Mario World fan game that you're gonna see unravel before your eyes here.
Hi, I'm Jank Pickle. I'm the Wonder Runner, and I play a lot of Kaizo. So I'm here too.
Hi, I'm BK, and I'm just a Super Mario World cape enthusiast.
All right. Well, if we're ready to go, I need to do an intro skip right off the bat, and I'm going to turn it over to the couch and let you all count it down.
So we're going to do a countdown in a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! So right off the bat, we're introduced to this scene. So basically, what's being said, this is the Chroma Isle. One day, strange blocks start to fall from the sky. Massive, little, luminescent.
Name drop.
Title drop. So this is the basis for this game. You've got those glowing blocks a bit everywhere, scattered in all the levels. And those are basically your death blocks, so you should avoid them as much as possible. And here we are introduced to the first level called Samba de Kaizo. And this is where you get like your basic stuff for Kaizo. You're introduced to a lot of the obstacles, the two types of jump you have here. You have to cross over this large gap with the mole. Moles are your friends. And basically everything in Kaizo that you're given, you need to use it in some way. So you're given shells here, you need to bounce off of it. And you're being given a mushroom. So mushroom, usually you use them to break blocks or to get damage boost. And then sometimes you're also given Yoshi. And all of these combine into this very weird and cool looking setup here. But then we have to say goodbye to Yoshi. He's been a great help, but we must part ways. And then there's this Goomba here, which allows us to pass. And be careful that Chucks are notoriously dangerous in Super Mario World, but
that was so good.
To go through. Yeah. I like that sound at the end of each level. So here we move on to Wiggly Beach. You will see those wigglers, the best enemies ever. They have this weird property when they fall off, when they're being placed like in the sky, to fall in chunks like that. And then Glitch is able to do this kind of jump, like very, very high jump, when he bounces off one falling. So in this very beachy setup, you have this green shell, which is going to turn into a disco shell. Disco shell are really good for, they keep on following Mario everywhere. And in this case, you have to use it to cross this large gap and get this P-switch and turn back, because you need to go back to the leftmost part of this level to use this P-switch. Because once again, when you're given something, you need to use it. And here, Glitch has to hurry to get to the other side of the level before the P-switch runs out, and kick this block here to enable this vine, and then it will be greeted with the gold post. But wait a minute, he's got a bridge he's got to build. If he doesn't build this bridge, whenever he gets the goal here, he will be dying. Yeah, there we go.
Those wigglers at the very end are really hard to control, because if you are too far to the right of them, they will change their direction, and you have to be very precise with how you're landing on their head.
To quote Lungfish, imagine not understanding the nuances of angry Wiggler movement.
So we got our first water level. Everyone loves water levels. And in this case, this is a good case of custom stuff made into Super Mario World. Here we have puddles of water that are changing depending on the on-off state. So you see Glitch hits the on-off, and it changes which puddles of water are becoming solid, liquid, or they become just air. And those platforms here, they behave differently whenever they got into the air or into water. And same for this fish, this rib van fish. You never really get to spin jump off of it in the original game. But here, because we can pretty much change everything in Super Mario World, we're allowed to do like all sorts of really crazy setups like this. And then once again, Glitch is going to perform a little skip here.
Nice.
So, nicely done. And move on to the next section.
And now we ascend. So
Vertical section.
yeah, vertical water section. So these are custom blocks that basically make it ascend so much quicker. I really like how that lines up. Something to note: these are blue coins. With Kaizo, we do have a visual language that will kind of help players read the section better at their first attempt. So blue coin is generally spin. Then we also have green coins, which I believe are throw. Are those in this?
I'm sorry?
Are green coins in this at all?
Yes, there are green coins who also indicate to the player when you need to throw something there. So Kaizo is a very frantic game. You need to be able to sometimes do things on the first sight. And yeah. So you want to telegraph obstacles most of the time, yeah.
Friends, is there time for a little love from the community?
Yes.
Alrighty, we've got a couple here that've been waiting since yesterday. They wanted to make sure they got those donations in. $50 from Juz Cook.
Hey, Juz. Thanks, man.
The creativity in the Super Mario World community never fails to impress. Good luck, Glitch. GC7. Boop.
Crikey.
Hey.
Oi.
And $100 from I Have One Big Eye, who says, let's get the Pride incentive going for the Luminescence run, which we just met.
Woo! Heck yeah!
Trans rights are human rights.
I guess we could explain what that is. So at the very end of this, there's a secret level where if you go off the map, basically it was a level made for our community event. And people raced it sight unseen. And we'll be playing that at the end of this. After we beat the final level, we'll go to that.
It's a very colorful and gay level, so you don't want to miss that.
Thank you all so much for meeting that incentive. I'm really excited.
And by the way, Glitch just beat one of the hardest levels in the game. Those snake blocks are vicious. So that was a very good run of this.
Yeah, we didn't even explain that some of those are controlled using the same D-pad that controls Mario.
And now we are being introduced to more custom blocks. So this one is I guess we call them extendos. They don't really have an official name, but basically they will create blocks on the side, the arrows pointing. So you can create one, you can create many of them. They basically allow Mario to pass throughout the obstacles.
There's your green coin for indication.
Oh yeah, exactly. A lot of coin trails that gives the player, you need to go there. Sometimes in Kaizo there will be trolls where you are going to be pointed out to a direction, but you're going to be met with death. I'm not a super big fan of that. So in this fan game, you won't see that often, but there will be trolls. Let me assure you that. So here we have the nice, sunset looking, another vertical section. I love my vertical sections. With another twist on those blocks here. And then, I don't know if you've noticed, but there are also just been had. So the red arrow blocks will generate munchers, which are ubiquitous to Kaizo, as you may or may not know. So yeah, I'll let the.
We could have a donation while we're stacking this mountain up here.
You got it so much from your community. $25 from Gossip Greg. Luminescent is a great game, and Glitch Cat is an incredible player. Good luck
Greg.
in the run. I love my trans comrades. $25 from Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard. For all of us here at Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard, the fanciest and yellowest of all mustards, have an amazing run, Glitch Cat 7. And don't forget, that's Da Vinci's Fancy Yellow Mustard. $100 from Jank Pickle.
Oh, that's
Hello
you.
from the couch, far from home, away from my cats. My cat Cricket has been camping out in front of my door, and Everdeen has been particularly bossy to the rest of my family. So please pet your cats for me. $25 from Empire Ship, who simply says, "You matter."
MP.
Yay.
$42 from Nathu. Love from the Kaizo crew in the crowd today. Ugh, Rochester, we miss you. $25 from Vivaldi. Good luck, Glitch. I think I can safely speak for all the cat bus when I say you're going to own this run. Donation to Unlocking Pride Land and also to Petting Mallow.
Yeah. So here we got this orb here, but now it's running away. No, we gotta catch it. That's another example of a custom sprite you can make in these fan games. So it's made to run as soon as Mario gets nearby, and then you have to follow it all the way to the top. But here, Glitch will attempt to do an early orb.
Saved it.
That's never happened before.
Orb.
Yeah, orb. Missed the chance to get an early orb, but he saved it really, really well there. Nice save.
Yeah, that orb only saves a couple of seconds if you can get it a little bit
Yeah.
earlier. I'd like to dedicate this next level to my mom because I think her favorite level or her favorite character in Mario is Yoshi.
Hi, Glitch
We're gonna
Mom.
get to do a Yoshi level. Hi, Mom.
So in the next couple of levels, you'll see there's a lot of Yoshi. I love Yoshi. I love the character. And you see like a very full extent of all his capabilities. So you start with a small Yoshi. You need to feed him 5 objects. They don't necessarily have to be berries, but you need to feed him 5 so he can grow. And then you have this blue shell at your disposal so you can fly up, but you've got to alternate between grabbing berries and the shell. You cannot do both at the same time. And this requires a lot of meticulous movement here. Very hard on the first try. But then at this point, Yoshi needs to grab 10 of those berries. At the end, it's gonna pop up in an egg, which will contain a mushroom. And as I said earlier, if you're given a mushroom, you need to use it for something. Gotta be careful here. There we go.
Nice.
If he's not careful, if he grabs the berry at that point, there's a chance the egg might fall into the hole, and that's a good example of a troll that you can find in those games. But Glitch avoided it really beautifully. So once again, so the next section, you got the small Yoshi again. You need to feed him 5 items, 5 berries here. Nice chunk here. So big Yoshi again, and once again, 10 berries. This is not the last time you're gonna see it in this run. Once again, you need to alternate
I love that
between.
shell jump setup.
Yeah, works so well.
Also, you don't see P-Balloon a lot in Kaizo.
Nice little skip here. Oh,
There we go. I wanted to eat that mushroom closer to the barrier so
Yeah.
I could save a little bit of.
saves a few seconds. You gotta be careful to take that Yoshi out. Oh, there you go. If he hadn't taken the Yoshi out, it would have eaten the shell, and Mario wouldn't have been able to go through. So another example of trolls you find in Kaizo fan games.
$100 here from Mooing Lemur. Hi from the back couch. Happy to be welcomed into such a wonderful
Yeah.
community. Good luck, Glitch.
All right, so this is the Lava Woods Cottage. In this level, you have these chain chomps, and they are eating all these blocks. So you gotta basically work with them while also having them work against you. There are points where they eat these luminescent blocks, and you need them to clear the path, but they're also going to be eating your
that's
platform.
here.
So here's a good setup where you get Yoshi in midair. Whoop. All right.
My headcanon is that Yoshi is just sort of a stunt dinosaur. You know, they're just good at looking like they're taking a fall, but actually they're fine. They can swim in lava. There's pillows down there for them. They're okay.
They've tough. They've lived for millions of years, so they've gotten used to lava and stuff.
This is basically an auto-scroller. You have this growing vine, and at the same time, the chomps, the Bradens, are eating the vine.
Allowing the ghost.
And then this is just some good jump control. It is precise how he's pressing the button.
Very good use of your spin jumps, yeah. And then, oh, what's that? Oh no, it's a boss fight. So you've got this huge chain chomp who's not super happy to see you. He's kind of trying to jump on you, but you also need him to cross over some of the gaps. So he's kind of running at you right now, but you're gonna use he's clearing the path here. But you absolutely need him for this jump here. As you can see, blue coins means spin jump, and then gonna perform.
I tried for the yump. Yeah, so we would call that I can explain that. We call that a yump. When you touch those switches, there's one frame where you're counted as standing on the ground. Technically, a yump is a jump off one of those big P switches, and a P switch jump is a jump like that off of one of the small ones.
if you watch a lot of SMW speedruns, you see a lot of runners trying to get the jumps and the P-switch jump because they're just so satisfying to get.
We got a little cutscene here.
Yeah, we got some lore. Originally, because those cutscenes are in the original, except instead of saving an egg, you're saving a mushroom here. So Mario just rescued some kind of mushroom. He doesn't know exactly why, but he just did. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to take it with me and we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll be useful in the future. Who knows?
All right, so Everwall Corridor.
This level.
So this level has a really interesting gimmick in that basically all the air is treated as a solid to sprites. So your shells, your Koopas, it's all treated as a sprite, and it does not like being in a wall in any way. So it's freezing, it's shaking, it's
Every sprite,
not comfy.
Yeah, every sprite behaves differently. Sometimes they're just gonna vibe around. Sometimes they're just gonna stay there, and you'll see some of those sprites behave very, very interestingly, to say the least.
I really like how the Bowser statues actually jump up.
Yeah, they just jump up and they never go down, so you can use them as platforms. So here we are once again greeted with Baby Yoshi, and you need to feed him to 5 items. They don't necessarily need to be berries. But here we have the berries. But did you know that Yoshi can actually eat Bowser statues?
Statue.
Good metallic statue.
I've eaten weirder.
Tastes like lead. But then, OMG.
Yoshi has a weird property where he'll zip up
Yeah.
when in a wall. We've definitely used that in some levels, but in this case, we are trying to manipulate that and eat all the berries so that we can get a mushroom.
It's very hard to juggle with Yoshi on the first time around, but it becomes very satisfying once you get to know how to use that. But there's not a whole lot of levels being done with that. Shout out to Super Mike, who did a few levels with those, member of our community. And then, you see the goal, but why did we skip it? Because there's another goal right here.
Nice.
Another example of trolls you will find in Kaizo fan game is that sometimes you'll have a first goal here, but it's not a fake goal, but it's going to lead to your death because you can still die even if you're doing the end of level march. And that it would have happened here because there's a pool of lava next to it. So here we have, what's the name of this level again?
Flip Flop Fault.
Thank you. I'm forgetting the name of my own levels.
I've been worried about getting the names wrong.
So, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of very custom stuff in this fan game, but a lot of this here, like everything, like the nets here, a lot of it is vanilla. So that's from the original Super Mario World game. You just don't get to see a lot of the interactions here. So like grabbing a Goomba while you're on the fence and eating blocks from the side, you never get to do that in the original game. So making fan games with Super Mario World it's so fun because you get to mix up all of those elements together that were never meant to be together, and sometimes it creates very interesting results. And
They built such a versatile engine that even now we're finding new things to do with it.
Oh, we're totally finding new things like all the time.
Speaking of the engine, with reference to the last level, I should mention that when Mario's stuck on a wall, he clips down and to the left. But Yoshi, as we saw, clips straight up. That may or may not be Nintendo's way of telling us that Yoshi is the morally superior being. Who can say?
Too pure for this world.
Yeah.
I mean, after all the times we've thrown Yoshi into pits, I think it's definitely not Mario. Time for a quick dono.
Absolutely.
$100 from Finn. Always good to see the Kaizo Mario community represented. Good luck on the run glitch, and let's prevent some cancer.
Thanks,
Y'all
Finn.
matter.
Hey, Fen.
Hi, Fen.
You can read another one if you want.
Absolutely. $100 from Risto to PCF. I've got a class full of kids watching this run and cheering on Glitch. Now that's an education.
Yo, shout out to
We
the
love you,
Retro
Glitch.
Game
Stuff is
Club.
still. So another example of unintended behavior is that you can see Mario floating into the lava up there. So that bottom portion of lava tiles act as water. So that's why he was able to do that. And another interaction here. Oh no!
I missed it.
Missed it. Another interaction you never get to do is this nice shell juggle where he just punches the net and it makes the shell rebound. So that was a nice little mechanic I was able to add when I made this fan game.
Unintended behavior. I like that name. Someone should make a Kaizo called that.
Definitely, yeah. Or 3 of them.
There's a whole trilogy there.
Yeah.
Pay me for your idea or for my ideas.
Aristo, you're gonna kill that Bowser any day now. It's coming.
That's such a good setup. I love that. One thing to note, these Koopas have been modified so that you cannot jump on them. They are color-coded in the same way that the luminescent blocks are. So that is our visual cue to know that we cannot jump on them, which is really smart design.
And I have to be holding onto that net at the end, or I would also walk off into the pit.
You would also never see Mario on a net finishing a level. No. It just works.
It just never occurred in the original game. So here we have... what's the name of this level again?
Atomic Dip Tunnel.
Thank you.
Got you.
So here we have this level with... you see the screen will not transition unless Mario is transitioning with the pipes. Now, the thing is, with this level, there is you see those jumping, those gravity-bound munchers. There is a muncher boss at the end of this level. The reason why I'm saying that is because Glitch will attempt to skip it. There is a skip that he discovered while playing the game that I hid in the... I never told anyone about that, and he found it himself. So he's going to attempt to do it by grabbing an extra block here. So he needs to throw those to be able to pass, and then he can grab an extra block here. He needs to be very careful because it might despawn in his hands if he's not fast enough. And then there we go. Got it in.
Nice.
So let's see if he's able to do the skip. There we go. Nice.
I missed that occasionally in practice, and so I did practice the section that Muncher wants to drop you down into another little section where you run through. And it's actually a shame we don't get to show it off because it's a fun one, but that's a 30-ish second time. So,
yeah.
Mario is on fire.
That's on me for putting a shortcut there.
All right, well, we cutscene it up. A few more donations?
Yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. $100 from DG Riot to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Pride %, please. Happy to serve that up to you. Same from So Cool 111 with $250. Keep up the donations to hit Pride %. Shout out to GlitchCat and his wholesome community that makes everyone always feel welcome.
Thanks, So Cool.
$250 from Anonymous. Good luck, GlitchCat. Thanks for being a wonderful pillar of our community.
You know, actually, this next level, we've seen a lot of the stuff and we've learned about it already. So if you'd like to keep reading some donations, I would love to hear some more.
I would be happy to. $250 from Mai Komagata. Looking forward to an amazing run by GlitchCat. Let's get the Pride % in there. $10 from BD Geese. Had to donate during the Luminescent run. Special shout out to my buddy, the Borgie Man, who managed to super crash his way into GDQ with his ROM hack. Let's see how fast GlitchCat 7 will save the 3 little princesses. That's what happens at the end, right?
Someone here read my comics.
$100 from Virus Yosh. I'm glad that it's GDQ time once again, and I'm happy to be donating for such a great cause during a run by one of my favorite streamers. Thanks to GlitchCat7 and his welcoming community, along with all of those in the Super Mario World fan game community, GDQ staff, and of course, PCF. Let's get Pride %. I mean, I'm happy to read these all out because I'm glad they were the ones to help us get there to Pride %, but I'm also very happy to remind anyone who may not know that we have already met Pride %, so thank you so much for your generosity.
Thank you, everyone.
2220 from Kenzo. Good luck, Glitch. The Big Eye with $100 to PCF. Let's get that Pride incentive. $100 from Tim Ader. Good luck on the run, GlitchCat. You got this. Donating to the Pride % incentive so Glitch can keep swinging the fans. Give Mallow some good pets. $5 from Fengar32. You matter. Your thoughts matter. Your heart matters. Your feelings matter. Good luck, GlitchCat 7.
All right.
So we are now in the Fungus Fortress, and now we get to play with those mushrooms. Finally. So, as you may or may not know, these mushrooms are taken directly from Super Mario Bros. 2. Those mushroom blocks that you can pick them up, you can throw them, you can kill enemies with them, and you can use them to enter pipes and stuff. So they're going to be featured proficiently here, like a lot. Whoops. He's doing it's a very dangerous juggle, but there's a lot of skips you can perform because those mushrooms are they are as useful as they're very janky. So sometimes they work as intended, and other times not. But most of the time, they're functional. They're functional. In It Kaizo, when you do put new stuff, as long as it's functional, it's fine.
This is probably one of the toughest levels.
It is.
In the
Yeah.
It's the toughest levels by all the tricks you can perform to save time. Yeah.
Yeah, so this jump, just picking up and jumping with that is a frame perfect trick.
Yeah.
And you can do that with keys as well. So I basically equate this to being a key that has enemy killing properties. Yeah. So it's basically a block that you pick
I'm gonna
up.
play it safe.
Code-wise, it is based on keys, on the Super Mario World keys.
I chickened out on the skip there because I wanted to play it a little safe.
Yeah.
I died at the beginning. But we
this
have
is
maybe
brutal.
another chance.
So you've got here this Sumo Bro, who they normally don't jump like that. This is, once again, like with the addition of custom blocks and stuff, you can have them do very interesting stuff.
Wait.
Like, you gotta wait
I love
time.
the indication in this. There's
We're doing the safe way.
Sometimes
Yeah,
you
it's
gotta
hard.
wait, even in speedruns.
There we go.
Yeah, the indication in this is just absolutely a quality of life thing, and it really just shows how much effort and thought has been put into the player's experience.
Oh, and we've developed quite a code for that in the SMW community for how to indicate things because of the nature of Kaizo. So
It's supposed to be brutal, but it's also supposed to be fun.
yeah. And there you go. So here Glitch could have made this jump by jumping off Yoshi, but then he would have died there. So a good thing he kept Yoshi.
If at all
Big
possible, you don't want to get rid of something you could use later.
Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
So this is a very silly boss. Was able to fight in less than 10 seconds, so that's great.
Get another little cutscene here for us.
And another little batch of donations. $250 from Deppy Slide, who says, hello from SMW Central. Always have to donate during another great Kaizo Mario run. Good luck, and here's to another great year of Kaizo Mario. $100 from JD Lowe. GlitchCat7 is one of the best humans on the planet, according to his cat Mallow. Super proud of you and super proud of Games Done Quick. Keep up the great work. $50 from Turpo Gaming. Pride percent? Let's put the cherry on top of this absolutely incredible run. Much love to GlitchCat, and good luck on the run.
Thanks, Turbo.
The Kaizo community is coming out so strong for this.
So this level is named CN Tower. That's mostly because I'm Canadian, so I had to name this level after maybe the highest tower in Toronto. But also because this is a Skytree level. So the reason it's named Skytree, it's because you have this vine that you have to escort all the way up. You have to catch to it, or else it might despawn, it might stop. You have to make it sure it's still going on. And Skytree is named after a tower in Tokyo. So this is kind of analogous to Skytree with the CN Tower reference. And here, so we have got the second section. Still gotta escort the vine, but we gotta be gotta be quiet at this point because Glitch will grab a star, and in this game, grabbing a star doesn't change the music. So you'll have to know exactly when the star ends, or else you might miss a jump here. So we've got a star. Gotta avoid something here, but now for now we have to be quiet because it could end at any time. So those blocks here, and I'm gonna shut up right now. There we go.
Nice.
Nice.
If I jump too early there, I would not make it. And if I jump too late, I would also not make it. So I had to time that just right. All right, we got out.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the mold for this level is from Kaizo Mario World 3 from the original trilogy by
Yeah.
Takamoto.
Oh, the cape level. Well, BK, do you think, as the resident cape expert, you could teach us how cape works?
I'd love to. So the first thing you'll notice here is that you don't need to run to build flight meter to take off because the cape is modified in this game to have infinite flight meter. And so all you need to do is land, touch the ground, and you can immediately go into spin flight or normal flight. They have some trade-offs. Spin flight is ideal for going straight up. normal fly is ideal for going to the side, and it also has the benefit of you being able to cape slam to kill enemies and throw shells and stuff up into the air, and to slide, both of which we'll see in a subsequent section. Now here, what Glitch is doing is sliding on the ground, which you can do by normal flying with cape and then landing while having positive speed. And that has basically the same effect as butt sliding, which you may have seen more commonly. And butt slide is very powerful and lets you kill enemies that you otherwise cannot, such as the grinders that he killed. And to make sure that he doesn't stop sliding before he wants to, that level is also icy, so it's slippery. He's slip sliding around.
I just really like this setup where it just sends the block off to who knows where, and we reuse it.
Once again, a weird property you don't get to see in vanilla Super Mario World.
That was a really good level.
Thank you.
That's probably one of my favorites to watch.
This might be a good chance. Abstract Pipes for another donation. We've got these yellow blocks that flip on a cycle. I'm not going to try for the little cycle skip because it's kind of risky, but if you'd like to read some donations while we're running through.
Yeah, would be more than happy to. We got another comics fan here. $100 from Stephen V, or Steve Oisiak. Awesome seeing the Borgie Man at GDQ. I've been a fan of his comics for years, and his game development abilities impress just as much. Keep up the awesome work.
Thank you so much.
$25 from Yellsrick. Hi, Glitchcat. Been looking forward to this run all week. Best of luck destroying Luminescent. Cheering you on from the check-in desk.
Thanks, Yellsrick.
$50 from Solian. Pride Land, here together. $25 from TD Warrior. It's been a ton of fun being in person at GDQ for the first time, getting to talk to everyone in the Mario crew in person. Good luck on the run, Glitch, and make sure to give some pets to Mallow when you get home.
He's missing me.
$100 from Endless Ascent to the Prevents Cancer Foundation. Props to Glitchcat, Borgie, and the rest of the couch for showcasing this amazing game and all the variety and excitement SMW Kaizo can offer. $50 from Rainbow Llamas. It's Luminescent Day. Hi, Glitch. Hi, Couch. You are a joy and a gift to know, and thank you for showing off the game. We love Mallow the cat.
Whee! All right, well, we're coming up on what would be the end of any percent, but we get that extra Pride percent, so time will not be stopping after this. We're going to go right over and finish up with Pride percent, but here we are in Terminal Climb.
Yeah, so which is normally the last level for any percent. So in this message box you see at the beginning, you are being told that the one responsible for like the whole glowing block thing is going to be at the top of the tower. So you're given those falling blocks here that are not luminescent that you can ride on, but you got to be careful because they can still kill you from the side and by crushing you. And as you see, they will be very useful to climb this area here. Once again, I am a very big fan of vertical section. Love the climbing aspect of it, such as here. But sometimes you gotta have to stop those blocks, such as here, to create a kind of ladder and to have the disco shell cross here. But you gotta be careful because you cannot hit this block here, or else it's gonna jam the pipe and you won't be able to cross.
You and CO made a level for one of the community events for GDQ previously with these falling blocks.
Shout outs to CO Kinetic. For Summer Games Done Quick 2022.
I was there.
Yeah, we did a race level together for this event. And I used those blocks, yeah. So here, Glitch needed to clear the path, and because those blocks can actually destroy the ground, you needed to have a clear, a clear way to be able to run and get some speed here. You need to preserve the speed here, or else he's not gonna preserve his flight.
This trick is TAS only.
Used
to be
10 years.
Totally TAS only.
About 10 years ago, that type of trick was considered TAS only. And shout outs to the vanilla runners who discovered a lot of things we use today.
Now we're getting to the bus room. Who might be responsible for this? Oh no, it's Tetris! Tetris is the one responsible. So this message box said that the Tetrominos, which are the Tetris pieces, they consider themselves to be the superior games, so they want to crush Mario. But the thing is, whatever this Tetris player is, he's not very good. The blocks are all over the place. He's not stacking very well. So I doubt he's going to have a very high score by the end, which is to Glitch's advantage here. And also you can see the little shadows. You can see where the blocks are going to fall. This is just a way for the player to better telegraph where they need to be at a certain point.
This is the song of my people.
Almost there, but oh, gotta be careful. Yep.
Now, those 4 bars are always showing up when you don't want them, huh?
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds of that? 5 in a row? Oh, no, even more.
Oh no! So now the Tetris blocks are ticked. They really want Mario out, and they're like, okay, now we're not fooling around. So it's like, it's what, level 29 Tetris? Where they're like, it's your kill screen now. So gotta avoid those.
I only know how to play DAS.
Gotta be careful with those because those are very tight jumps here.
Got it.
And now, oh, get to the top. Oh, and Mario, just remember, he grabbed a lot of mushroom blocks from the previous level, so he can use them to jam those pipes and end the world.
I relate to Mario. I always have random things in my pockets. I have a receipt from probably like 2 weeks ago.
I thought you were going to say you always end the world. That's some powerful energy.
So we now graded to a nice escape sequence. Mario just destroyed the world, well, the tower at least, and he's gotta make his way out. And he's doing so by, you see, it's kind of a nice send-off to the the fan game, with all the stuff you've seen in the past, like those here, the mushroom blocks, and you'll see the chain chomps over there. So you kind of have all of those items coming back to you, just as a nice send-off. Gotta be careful here to hit them. There's a very dangerous jump coming up. And then Mario, finally, as a last send-off, gets to do some plumbing, finally. So he's gotta unclog the pipe.
I'm
here.
being safe.
Yeah, gotta be safe.
Oh, that's absolutely scary.
And there you go. Woo.
Okay, but this would be the end of any percent. We're not going to stop the time. We're going to go right over. Thank you all so much for donating for the Pride Percent incentive. I'm really excited to show this one off.
Opportunity to shout out a few more people in your community.
Please
as we
do.
go over.
Love to hear that.
Excellent. Have a very special one from Glitch Mom and Dad. It's $50 to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Good luck on your run, Glitch. Sorry we can't be on the couch, but we are cheering you on from home. Very proud of you and your perseverance and the awesome community you are a part of. Much
Thanks.
love to you.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
And $50 from the Little Hylian. Greetings from the back couch. So glad we got that Pride Percent incentive met. Much love to GlitchCat and the entire Kaizo community for being such wonderful friends and welcoming folks. Trans rights.
So it's a Pittsburgh tradition to wave the terrible towel when the team is doing well, and I would encourage you, if you have a pride flag or something, wave it high in the air, because this level is themed around all the different pride flags.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hear it, Pittsburgh.
So the main theme of this level are the differently colored blocks here. They will grant Mario some different powers. So we've got, of course, the Pride block here. So it's going to grant Mario invincibility as long as he touches it. And then whenever he leaves it, he's going to be invincible for like half a second or something. So you got to alternate between being invincible or not. And then you've got the Buy block here. Functions about the same, except you're given iframes, as we call them, or biframes. which you know, the kind of frames you get when you take damage. Oh,
I need that guy.
You know that guy. The kind of frames you get when you take damage. You get a mushroom, then you get hit by an enemy, so you're getting like all flashy and stuff.
Nah, I've just
saved that. So you're getting invincibility for that, and that's kind of the same as the Pride block in a way, but it opens up different strats here for getting past enemies. Just gonna spawn those bullet bills once again. Need the shell. Whoop.
There
There
we go.
Nice.
Nice.
Come here, you.
Not sure if it's gonna be enough though, because
Oh yeah, we gotta keep this.
Oh.
No, he won't come down. I've done that.
he was chilling up there.
Yeah, the yellow Koopa needs to go into this shell in order to create that disco shell.
All right, some more love from the community while we redo.
Yeah.
$500 from Jay the Wook. Hey, GlitchCat7,
thanks, Jay.
only the size of your heart exceeds your skill. Thank you for giving us the space to congregate each night. You push me to be a better player every day. Biggest
Jay.
of G's. And $100 from Hank Sinatra. Good luck on the run, GlitchCat. And thanks to the Borgie Man
Hey,
for
Hank.
creating such
Hey,
a
Hank.
fun game.
A lot of disco shells in this one.
Yeah. Disco shells are fun.
Hey, we haven't even explained the disco shells because it is really,
Who could ever explain disco shell?
yeah,
I've explained it, but yeah.
one of the hardest things to learn for a newer player, I think.
Oh yeah, especially like the disco surfing. So here we have the non-binary blocks. So they will allow Mario to perform a dust cloud. So that's basically the same power as when Yoshi grabs a yellow shell. So you just can pound the ground and stuff. And the thing here, now Glitch is gonna perform a glitch here, which when he jumps on an enemy, it's not gonna work here. So you see, no ground pound here, jumps on enemy, no ground pound here. So that's because there's this glitch in the game that will do that if you had just jumped on an enemy, and you needed it to be able to cross. So here we have the Ace Block. And Ace Block will allow you to perform a high bounce or low bounce depending if you press the D-pad or not. And it's needed to be able to cross the gap because there's a lot of Muncher. This is really Muncher land over here.
That's a little example of how that wedge-shaped hitbox on the disco shell can be really tricky. You have to kind of orient yourself with the side of it that you want to surf on.
Wedge shape means that if you jump left, you're going to be sent leftwards, and same thing for right. So you always got to redirect your momentum based on that. So the disco shell entry is kind of hard here. It's kind of tricky.
Yeah, it can be a really difficult thing to just kind of lock onto a disco shell that's moving in the direction you're trying to go. We got it. Maybe. 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 It's all right. We got time.
Shout outs to the people who make these custom blocks.
Oh, yeah. In addition to, level creators, to graphic designers and stuff, there's a lot of skills needed in the SMW community. There's also a lot of people who actually code stuff that is needed for those, all of this nice custom things that you see in fan games. So big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to the SMW programming community.
I'd like to give a special shout out in particular to Dita the Fourth, who has added so much to the game over the years. Thank you, D4. We love you.
And a lot of her code has been used for these blocks as well. And a few of the code you can find in this particular game. So here we have the trans blocks. And the trans block allow you to transport the closest item into your hands. So once again, needed to cross all of those platforms here. And the little shell elevator you saw earlier. And the last shell jump here. Nice.
Trans rights.
All right, trans rights.
So this is it. This is the very last section. I will mark time at the end. Look at how all the different powers come together. I really just think this has been such a lovely GDQ, and GDQ just brings out the absolute best in everyone. It's been an honor to share this, and I think we're so much stronger together than we ever could be apart. So I will mark the time. It's not when I touch the goal. It's right after the circle closes. Right after the Yoshi party. So I'll say time verbally. And wait for it. Time.
Woo!
That's it. What was my final time? 41:36. That's really good. That's it. That's all for me. I just wanted to get my shout outs done really, really quickly. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for being here. That was just amazing. I'm forgetting everyone that I wanted to shout out. My fellow staff at RHR and SMW Central, thank you so much. My community on Twitch, my mom and my dad and my wife, who couldn't be here today because of the weather, but they're watching at home. Thank you. I love you. And I'd also like to dedicate this run to two members of our community who are no longer with us, Ugg Rochester and Banjo Goose. We miss you. We love you.
Shout outs to all the people running this event. Without all these volunteers, we would not have this event. Shout outs to camera crew specifically. That's what I help with.
Shout outs to the artists.
Yeah.
Shout outs to the artists that donate all the prizes and the unsung heroes who help out with little minor things around the scenes.
Yeah, big shout outs to the community, the SMW community. Thank you, Glitchcat, for inviting us. Big shout out also to my friends at home who listen. Salut tout le monde du Québec. And yeah, thank you again. Thanks for GDQ for having us here. It's an honor to be here.
Shout outs to Pogo. Shout outs to Yellow Yossi-chan.
If you're interested in trying Kaizo, you should join our community. We have weekly races that you can, if you're too nervous to try a full game, you can just give a level a shot, and we have them ranked in difficulty so that you don't have to play the 7. Try a 3. Those are great introductions. Just take on one challenge.
Yep. And if you'd like to learn a little bit more, you can go to smwcentral.net. Thank you. I think that's all for us. So thank you for watching. I hope Yins have a great rest of your marathon.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.